The sun was setting, casting an orange glow over the small town of Willow Creek. In a quiet neighborhood, a boy named Jake sat on the steps of his house, staring at his worn-out running shoes. He had trained for months for the biggest race of his life, the state championship. But now, he wasn't sure if he even wanted to run. His best friend, Sam, walked up and sat beside him. "You okay, man?" Sam asked. Jake sighed. "I don't know, Sam. I've worked so hard. But what if I fail? What if I come in last?" Sam chuckled. "So what if you do? Is that worse than not trying at all?" Jake didn't answer. He just looked down, lost in thought. The next morning, the stadium was packed with spectators. The air buzzed with excitement. Runners from all over the state stretched and warmed up. Jake stood at the starting line, his heart pounding. He took a deep breath. "No matter what happens, I have to try." The gun fired, and the runners took off. The first few meters felt easy. Jake pushed himself, keeping up with the pack. But by the halfway mark, his legs started to burn. The faster runners pulled ahead. His fear crept in. "Maybe I'm not good enough." Then, a voice echoed in his mind. "Is that worse than not trying at all?" Jake clenched his fists. He couldn't stop now. He focused on one step at a time. Just as he reached the final lap, disaster struck. His foot caught on the track and he stumbled. In an instant, he hit the ground. The crowd gasped. The other runners sped past him. Pain shot through his knee. Jake lay there, hearing whispers from the spectators. "Poor kid. It's over for him." Tears welled up in his eyes. He had failed. Then he heard clapping. It was Sam, standing in the crowd, yelling, "Get up, Jake! You're not done yet." Jake gritted his teeth. He placed his hands on the ground and pushed himself up. His knee hurt, but he ignored it. The other runners were far ahead. But it didn't matter. He started running again. One step, then another. The finish line was in sight. The other runners had already finished, but the crowd wasn't watching them anymore. They were watching Jake. His legs felt like lead, but he kept going. The pain screamed at him to stop, but he refused to listen. Then, something amazing happened. The spectators started clapping. First, a few people, then more. Soon, the entire stadium was on their feet, cheering. Jake crossed the finish line. He collapsed, exhausted, but a smile spread across his face. He had lost the race, but he had won something greater. He had finished what he started. Sam ran up and pulled him into a hug. "You did it, man." Jake smiled through his tears. "Yeah, I did." And in that moment, he realized winning isn't about being first. It's about never giving up.